All right. Welcome to Tactical Tuesday, part deux. Not really sure what happened. I was talking, and I had no idea, by the way, that it had stopped. I had no idea. So I was going on and on and on, and I probably make some really profound remarks and statements out there. I wish I had that on film because I felt like I was like going Gandhi on people, So I don't know what's going on. Outsiders, Cycle Camp Zippy, Mateo's out there. There's no telling. I probably lost everybody, but we're going to continue on. Thank you for everybody else in the panel for continuing the chat while I was gone. I have no idea when it was that I cut out, but it sounds like they've kind of took care of the simulator. So we shall move on from the simulator. And hopefully everyone else joins in. We're going to get a couple seconds. They're starting to file back in. Yeah, I really don't know. I really don't know what the hell was all about. I froze up, had to reboot the computer, had to restart the server or the router, whatever. I don't know what happened, but that was weird. We're back. We are back. And welcome to everybody. Thank you for jumping on to the second one. I'll probably end up having to do this, at least for the podcast. I'll probably have to download both these and join them together and go from there. But who knows? I have no idea. But thank you for everyone who's coming back. Looks like they're starting to file back in right now. So hopefully we didn't lose too many of you because I think this is going to be a pretty cool show. But so let's transition away from the simulators and let's just talk a little bit about this weekend. Ghost chats are so heavy you got to consume in multiple parts. That is correct, Clover Tech. HBO Matt says walking around Bass Pro Shop while listening. Well, say what's up to Bass Pro Shop. What is on, you overpriced mother? No, just kidding. Say hi to Bass Pro. Rick's out there. What's up, Rick? Yeah, I don't know what happened, but thanks for guys for coming back. But let's talk about real quick because I had I'm not going to say. Well, yeah, I will say. I said before. This is probably the most productive weekend since I've been on YouTube. Now, SHOT Show was absolutely amazing, and I think probably what happened is to make this weekend such a success for me and the channel. I think a lot of it was the groundwork was laid. Going to Wanamaker last November and kind of have that experience, but going to SHOT Show and meeting a lot of these people, a lot of these manufacturers, and starting a dialogue and starting a conversation with some of these companies over the last few months. And then when you get to NRA, it's kind of, and we're not even done. I mean, it's just the next step forward, but it was so productive that it was beyond what I even anticipated could happen. I loved every second of it. It was great seeing everyone out there. But yeah, it was great. I want to kind of go through the room. And I'll start with you, Tack, and I'm sure there are things that you probably can't talk about. But overall, can you give us a sense? Was NRA successful for you, for Funker, in general? I'm not talking about the NRA. I'm talking about the actual show with the manufacturers and the business side of things, not the NRA politics stuff. But did you have a good weekend?
A great weekend. Thanks for asking. Yeah, what you just said is correct, and it was funny because one of our guys, Todd Fosse, and if you want to see a great video, check out Todd Fosse's latest on Funker Tactical on the YouTube page. But I was there with Todd primarily to look into and finalize plans to launch what will be known eventually as Funker Tactical Training. Todd, he runs his own shop up in Minnesota called IDS. I was out there a couple weeks ago. 3-day event where we had 10 fit to fight black belts come in and take one of his more advanced classes. But watching him work, I knew for sure he was the guy. And we're running pretty hard with that. And basically being able to see everyone in one place at one time. I was lucky enough to get a hotel about a block and a half away from the convention center. And I was just looking at my total miles. I thought, my total miles would be, somewhere around 5 to 10 a day. And really I topped out at like 6 because it was right there. It was a quarter mile down the street, but as an example, I can reveal a few things along the way. But we're going to be working with some new talent. When we say talent, guys that we have worked with in the past that want to do cool video stuff, and and work with some of their players, and being able to walk to and from and take a lunch break with somebody that's, at a booth that you've been friends with for 3 or 4 years, and now they have the half hour to go grab a lunch. Everyone's got to eat lunch.
Absolutely.
Those are the opportunities that I found to be the prime type things. Booth to booth to booth, that's all great. And you're right. Everybody's happy to see us. I will say, less and less guys doing what you guys were doing. I said this in the pre-chat, I think, before anybody else jumped in with you, Ghost. You guys were – Clover's there too. Yeah. You guys were meeting and greeting and interested in product and interested in company and interested in relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And there wasn't a ton of people doing that. It's a different show. The public's there,
Right.
Anyone with an NRA membership can come and go touch all the guns that they've never seen before and all the different companies. They're not there to talk to them. Watch those people. They're not there talking to the reps.
No.
They're there looking at stuff that they've never seen before and doing photo ops and all that stuff. But yeah, it was great to see you guys, and we all caught up in that media room the last day, and that was fun to see everybody. And it's funny because I'll say this: Gunpowder and Tar, I'd not met them in person before, but it's funny because you get a feel, you know what you know about people, and it's probably 30 seconds after meeting them, I was like, I would have gotten into a lot in trouble at high school with these two because they're fun.
Guarantee it.
So yeah, it was good. It was good to meet them in person. So yeah, it was a good time, and lots of opportunity going forward from that event. Yeah, if you guys I'm sure you guys got a lot done as well, as I'm hearing.
It was great. Yeah, it was for me. We'll get into my experiences, but yes, it was. Tar Dot and Gunpowder. I'm really interested into hearing your perspective because this was kind of your first kind of big expo that you've been to Wanamaker, and but this was kind of the first thing where you guys were thrown into that scenario of booth review / trying to forge relationships and all that. And I'd love to hear how your guys' weekend went. And we can start with Tar Dot, or you guys can talk together, whatever. Whatever you guys want to do. But I'd love to hear you guys. And when you walked away this weekend, how you felt, what you thought was going to happen going into it. Was it what you thought it was going to be? Was it different? And how successful in your minds it was?
In my mind, I know it was pretty successful. See, I went into it because just recently picking up a new full-time job and trying to get other stuff produced and everything else, and obviously kids keep me real busy. So when I went into this, the whole perspective of it was I do want to talk to people. Obviously, I got as many booth videos and as much content and talked to as much people as I could. But as far as looking at the T&E aspects and getting some connections as far as stuff like that, I really didn't want to overwhelm myself and try to get like all these companies and talk to all these companies and have 15 people expecting me to do something. So I made it a point to go and just get a couple, just get at least 3, 4, 5 that I want to talk to and kind of work with to get the ball rolling first. And I was successful with that. I got a couple of them that I'm talking to right now about some things. And then obviously, like I said, I was going through the cameras and stuff, and Gunpowder has more than I do, but I know we have altogether like at least 30 videos, I think, that I've got to go through and see what we can edit down and put together. And I mean, it's more than just booths. It's the little videos we did on the side and stuff when we were out taking a break or, checking out stuff for the kids, things like that. But I feel like it was really good, really successful. And, it was great to finally meet Tack out there. I know he threw that toward us too, but it was great to finally meet him and get to shake his hand and say what's up.
Don't give him a big head. He doesn't need any more,
I heard them talking shit about me. She whispered to him, I thought he'd be taller. They all say that though.
They all say that about all. No, I can tell you this. I will say this, and this is also in all sincerity. Gelsma, Tar Dot, and Gunpowder Beauty, and obviously Kevin and Clover. But the three of you guys, I was so proud to watch you guys just attack it this weekend and weren't nervous walking up to these vendors and trying to start a conversation, relationship, and all that. But I will sit there and say that I was successful. I know Clover was successful. Everyone here was successful this weekend, but I would be willing to bet that some of the contacts and relationships that Gunpowder started for Gun Gals could end up being huge for, we're talking about the metamorphosis of that Gun Gals brand and channel. There was some stuff that happened this weekend. You want to tell us about Gunpowder that I think could really set you guys off?
Well, that was really what my hustle mode was this weekend. Was I was literally the only gun gal there, and so I made sure last Monday that I had started marking off what booths I wanted to go visit, what companies I had to go see, kind of tell them what we do for gun gals, what our goal is, and how we want to bring more women into the gun community, and well-armed women, girls with guns, Voodoo Tactical,
Hiding.
and you. Yeah, Hiding Hilda.
That one.
Those companies, I really, like, I'm still, when I talk about it, like, my heart starts racing, because it's so awesome how these companies sat there and they love what we're trying to do and they want to help us as much as they can. Girls with Guns is going to give us certificates. Instead of sending us product, they're going to give us certificates. So whoever gets a giveaway or whoever wins something, they can actually go and get custom stuff from Gun Gals that fits them. It's not a one-size-fits-all type of thing. They know that, every woman's body is different. And so instead of doing something where it may or may not fit, they want to make sure that whoever wins it, they get to order what they want. Maybe instead of a shirt, they want a pair of pants or, whatever. And so that's awesome. And then Well-Armed Women, it's really an amazing organization, and it's kind of what Gun Gals is going for, just getting more women involved. They have over 300 and something chapters. They're in all of the states except for one. Each state has multiple chapters. They meet on a monthly basis for sure. There's weekly basis. You have the opportunity to get training to become an instructor through the NRA, USCCA. Like, a lot of these things I've thought about, and I didn't know how to really get out there and do it. And the fact that these women sit there and they're like, yes, we want more women instructors. We want to get more gun girls out there. We want to make sure that every woman knows you don't have to rely on the cops. You don't have to rely on someone else to protect you. It's your right. We want to help you do it. Just being able to make those connections and talk to those people is just really awesome. And then I want to say Claudia, but I'm kind of having a moment right now. But she's one of the
7 different colors. So
yeah, it's probably the bleach or something. But she's one of the higher chapter leaders, and LRWC. They sat there, and Adam he was talking to her, and he was like, yeah, there's a girl, she's got colorful hair. She was talking about, she needs to go talk with y'all, and he wasn't sure if I had already talked with them, and I had already spoken with Ashley. And he was like, hey, there she is right there. She's got the colorful hair. And so she actually came up and approached me, and she was like, I was just talking to Adam. I want to talk to you. And so we had a great conversation, and she's in another state. But for the fact that we have so many gun gals that actually watch our show, I now have stuff to send out to them. So if they don't know of a ladies shooting range or anything like that around them, here's some literature for you to be able to go and find a range that's close to you. And that's the great thing about their organization, is they have multiple chapters in different states. And so there's got to be something close to everybody.
Yeah.
It was really cool. And we now have Sisterhood of the Traveling Purses in full effect.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Before we go over to Clover real quick, I did miss our first break, so I'm gonna go ahead and take it real quick. So give me about 30-second break, and we'll listen to the ad.
Hey Ghost Squad, this is Sky. We here at Ghost Tactical would like to continue the trend of becoming more involved in any gun safety and training. We encourage everyone, no matter your skill level, to continuously look for training in your local area. We think that taking a gun safety course every other year is important. We also believe that taking classes and training for self-defense and home defense are extremely important. Make sure to go looking for classes and training opportunities when you can. This not only helps you become more proficient with your firearm, but it helps support your local instructors and Second Amendment community as a whole. Back to you, Ghost.
That was my lovely daughter, Sky. She is soon to be a concealed carry. She turns 21 at the end of this month. She's already kind of taken the classes. Now she's just waiting to send in the paperwork when she turns 21. So I asked her if she would help out, and she said she would love to. So thank you, my dear, my wonderful daughter. Which Tar Dot and Gunpowder and Clover got to meet my wife and daughter this weekend. They didn't go to the show. They did their own thing throughout the day, went shopping and ate great Asian food around Dallas-Fort Worth area. But they went out to dinner with us, went to Genghis Grill, I think Saturday night, wasn't it? But you guys got to meet them. But yeah, it was really great to have my family with me. And you guys got to meet my daughter. But that was my daughter, Sky. So she's going to start doing some stuff, some spots for us. So thank you for that.
Trying to make her a new celebrity, a new YouTube celebrity now.
No, she has no desire to do that, but I figured people are just getting kind of tired of hearing my voice. So I figure if I'm going to do this stuff pre-recorded, I might as well let her do it because she has a little nicer voice than I do. So yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Kiss my ass. Let's continue on now. Clover, I'm pretty sure I know that you had a successful weekend, but can I talk to us about some stuff that happened with you?
Yeah, I don't even. It's tough to even
where to start.
Yeah, it's just so crazy, and the days are mixed up, honestly, at this point. But yeah, you said, earlier, you was like, well, you went SHOT Show. SHOT Show was amazing. After this weekend, I don't know that SHOT Show can be amazing.
Right.
Because it would have to be something above amazing, because NRA was just, I don't know, the feel of it, the interaction. It's just, it was a whole different feeling out there on the floor. Maybe it was a little bit of, having the experience too. So it's going to be interesting to see going forward if things get easier. For me, it was head down and hustle. I mean, that's how I went in. But not in the sense that I was gonna kill myself either. But I wanted to go in. I was only gonna have a couple of days, and wanted to go in and get that knocked out, and especially knowing that you and Jelsma and Tar and Gunpowder and them would not be there until Saturday. I thought, well, I'll cruise a little bit on Friday. I'll shake hands, make those connections, follow up on those relationships, do more things like that. And then, that'll give me the time Saturday to get my little list done, right? My little checklist or whatever. And turns out, I got awesome stuff done all 3 days. I added, pretty much tripled my list, got my list completed and tripled it before I left there. So, pretty awesome. Yeah, going in as far as opportunities, we're always looking for the opportunities to, to reach new people, to get, our message, the way we talk about things out. And with some of the contacts with other creators in the media room and stuff like that, I was able to make. I think that's awesome. I think that's gonna happen. It looks like. Great people. Everybody that I met. It's crazy that, I don't know, you see personalities, whether it's on YouTube or on TV or, wherever, right? And sometimes they rub you the wrong way. And then you meet these people and you realize that's just the way they run their show, the way they do their content, the way they their format is, right? Not really who they are. And then you get to talk to them as a person. You actually get to have that conversation. And it's interesting. Tardot and Gunpowder was there. I was talking with the guys from ASP. And admittedly, I don't follow ASP, but they were just, and I had more questions and compliments and everything on my camera gear, on my rig. When I think TAC was actually the first one to say something about it. People wanted to take pictures, and I gave my Amazon influencer store information out so many times where they could buy the stuff and whatever. They were just blown away. Other media people were blown away. Attendees, booth people, they were like, "Wow, where'd you get that? How'd you do that?" So that was interesting. But no, in the media room, and it started over a compliment and them basically oogling over that, and led into ASP. And I've heard of ASP and was having a good conversation and everything, and then realized I wasn't following them, and I thought, okay, I'll get on and check out some of their stuff. Maybe I remember the drama between them and Matt, or them and Yankee, or somebody that's always doing that sort of thing. But and we talked about that a little bit, but left there and went to follow, and I mean, they're just killing it. I mean, they're nearly 1 million subs, and thousands and thousands of Facebook, and I mean, their website's awesome. And I'm like, wow, sit there and was actually able to have a conversation with somebody that's on that level, right? Is awesome. And then get out on the floor. Several awesome interviews. I mean, the Pincus thing was freaking amazing. It was nothing short of amazing. And then was able to get coverage on some, I don't want to say new items, but a lot of the stuff hasn't released yet. It was actually, some of it was announced even back at SHOT Show, but I didn't have the opportunity to get by there. I kind of had a different set of goals then, you know what I mean? And I mean, I don't know what else necessarily to to say. There was just so much.
Yeah, for me, it was one of those where I went into this having the experience of SHOT Show and knowing how hectic it was. And so I went into this saying, I want to try to be more organized. I want to try to be less freaked out by the moment, and really concentrate on the relationships that I've kind of had since SHOT Show, and really want to spend some time with these people and to make sure that we're on the same page with everything. And then I wanted to spend some time with some companies that either I missed at SHOT Show or had limited time to talk with them for whatever reason at SHOT Show, if they were there, to make sure that I got more time with them. And then at that point, I wanted to just relax and enjoy the show. I'm not going to lie. I had an absolute blast at SHOT Show. It was unbelievable, but I don't remember much of it. Does that make sense? It was kind of a blur because in my mind, I was just keeping my head down and was oblivious to the rest of the world. Now, I had my head down and worked my tail off this weekend, but I tried to spend at least an hour or two a day to just soak it up and just enjoy it. I got a chance to, I ran into Hank. I think you ran into Hank. I had a good conversation with Hank, and Hank is Hank on his show. You can say what you want to about him. I've never been a real big, didn't dislike it, but I've never been a real big fan of Hank's show to a certain extent. Hank in person, not saying that he's an act on TV, but he's chill. In person, he was awesome. Him and Lolo were just awesome. They were, hey, they walked by and said, hey, man, he doesn't know me from Adam. But he remembered he knows my logo, which was cool because he said, hey, I know that logo. I've heard of you, but I've never met you before. And I said, no, we've never met. But he says, I know that logo and I've heard the name. So, and Lolo, was talking. It was nice to see them. Got a great interview with Tim with Military Arms Channel, and that dropped yesterday. So he was kind of talking about the experience of what happened right before they walked into the NRA show, about the security coming to talk to him 2 different times. The first time he just walked away because Tim was going to film it and he didn't want to be on camera. And basically Tim said, film it, the second guy that came by said, look, we're going to let you in the show. Well, you just go watch the video. It's out there. One of the probably the best moment for me as far as, aside from the content creation side, but just as an American and a veteran, was I was lucky to secure, sorry about that. I was an interview with Chris Tonto Peranto. And if you guys aren't aware of who Tonto is, he was thrust into the limelight, and very few heroes go out trying to be a hero. They're just doing their job and they become heroes. But he was a hero at Benghazi, and he was one of the Rangers that went in to try to get the ambassador and all those guys out of Benghazi when all that went down. So you can only imagine what he's seen. And we had a great conversation about what inspires him to get up and every day to do it. And then it transitioned very quickly into a PTSD interview, which is great because I like to make sure that people understand that PTSD is a real thing. I personally do not struggle with it. I've never been diagnosed. I don't feel like I have ever had any symptoms of it. But I know a lot of people that have, and it is a real thing. A lot of people struggle a lot with it. And for Tonto to sit there and in an interview say, it is a real thing and you need to go get help, and don't think that you're less of a man because you ask for help. And from hearing someone like Tonto talk about that stuff was pretty inspiring to me because, this guy's a hero, and he's saying, he said, I felt myself start crashing in December, and I went and make sure I went to the VA and I talked to someone, and 2 days later I was good to go. So, I mean, it was just one of those things. That was a great experience for me. I got to meet a lot of awesome people. Obviously, I talked about John and Robert with Milo in the simulator. Got to meet a guy named Mike Furia with Odor Crusher. It's some range bags and different gear with an ozone thing built into it. It's a pretty interesting concept. I went to go. He's also got a backpack that has the armor in the back, but then you can flip it over your head. You got armor in the front too. And it's more for tactical stuff. But some people go to school with clear backpacks. Some people go to school with armor in their backpack. So just saying. No, he was a really cool guy. Ironically, here he had one of my patches in his bag, and Brickell walked by, took a picture with my patch.
Some people go to school. Oh, sorry. Thought you.
No, go ahead. Some people what? Some
people go to school with clear backpacks with armor in the clear backpacks. Just for the record.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. Thanks, Iceman. Some people are talking about the Tim interview. I appreciate you guys watching that. The interview with Tonto is going to be dropping the next day or so. Be on the lookout for that. It's a pretty cool interview as well. Met up with after Tonto. I was talking with Jack, who works at Maxim, and they've got some really awesome braces and everything, and some Piccadilly rails that are crazy. So there'll be a video of that coming out. I dropped a video today with High Point, and we talked about High Point earlier, but David was awesome. They had some of their inland stuff, which is some shotguns and some bolt action stuff that were pretty awesome as well. But no, I had a great weekend. It was very uplifting to know that some of the people that I talked to at SHOT Show and have had a couple email back and forth said we'll see you at NRA, walk up, and every single one of them I walked up, like before I even got there, hey, what's up, dude? I haven't seen you in a while, and nice seeing they all remember me from SHOT Show. So that was nice to know that they remembered. But I guess when this ugly and this short, it's kind of hard to forget at times, but it is what it is. Yes, Sandy, Tonto is a Nebraska boy. Yes, he is. And if you're Mohawk Boy wants to remind you, I did put up the Tonto interview on Patreon. So if you are a patron of mine, it is up, so you can kind of take a sneak peek at that. I thought it was a pretty cool interview. It might not interest everybody, but I'm not all just going to put gun stuff. I'm going to try to do some stuff that I think is important, and what some of the stuff that I'm interested in, other people might not be. But that's okay. But if you are a patron of mine, go ahead and go over to the Patreon page, and you can watch a Tonto interview. There have been a couple of people that are still asking in the chat about a certain manufacturer that I had words with. So I'm not going to go into telling you what
Oh, no. Let's hear it. Spill beans. Let's go. Spice it
so
up.
we're going to.
You've already said what manufacturer it was. That's in my chat last night, by the way. If anybody wants to go see it,
go find out what manufacturer it is. You can go into Clover's chat last night and watch it. I'm going to help him out.
You don't have to name names, but tell us what happened. What happened?
Oh, I'm going to tell you. What happened. I'm just not going to name names. So it was a manufacturer that I met at SHOT Show at Range Day. Shot a couple of their guns, liked their stuff. Went over, had a nice talk with their marketing guy and social media guy the next on Tuesday of SHOT Show, and had a great conversation. And a particular gun was be coming out in March. They said we'd love to, you know, do some stuff. I said I'd love to do some T&E, so just let me know. Well, so we've been talking for the last couple of months, and last week I get an email from their head of marketing and said, love for you to come by on Sunday morning, and we like to do a little spiel for you, and then we'll hammer down the T&E stuff. And I said, awesome, I'll see you Sunday morning. So I go there Sunday morning. Jelsman was with me. And so I went there Sunday morning. I get there, and a guy that I had talked to, well, there were two guys there. One was kind of, I don't know, he just kind of works the company. He might be a gunsmith or something, but a great young guy, really funny. I talked to him a bunch, and I asked him if this other guy was there. I won't say his name, but other guy was there, and he said, no, he's actually stuck in some meetings. The other guy was there, and he says, can you come back maybe about an hour and a half? And I said, sure. So it was, I said, so I went back. I said, I'll be back around 12. He said, yeah, for sure. He should probably be here by there. No, it was not SAR. I can tell you that it was not SAR. My relationship with SAR is rock solid, and Clover and I will get into that here in a minute. Even Tarda, I can jump in on that. But
oh yeah,
it was not SAR. I will say that it was not SAR. Anyways, so I go do my thing, do a couple more interviews, and had another meeting with the company, and go back there at 12. And sure enough, I see Clover down there, and Jelsma are over there at a knife booth. So I was like, okay, that's cool. So I get done with this, and because I was getting ready to leave at that time, so I didn't have to go looking for them. But so I walk over once again.
For Battle Horse Knives, by the way, that's where we were.
Battle Horse Knives, yeah.
Good stuff, good people.
Oh yeah, you guys saw them at Wanamaker too, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I've got an interview dropped on my channel from Wanamaker. Right. Yep.
So I go there once again. The other guy's not there. I see the young guy, and I said, Jay's not here, and he goes, no, he still hasn't made it back. And I said, all right. And I knew the other guy because I met him at SHOT Show in January, and he's a sales guy. So I was trying to meet up with a marketing guy, but the sales guy was there. And I want to preface this. This company has had, over the years, how do I put this? Iffy reviews on the quality of their products. They've got some really innovative designs, but maybe the quality isn't necessarily where it needs to be. So people have said. I have only had one experience with it and shot really well at range day. That being said, other people have had issues. Anyways, so the sales guys, I said, well, hello. Okay. So I just kind of was looking at him, and he said, so you're here to meet with this other guy? And I said, yeah, I'm here to meet with this other guy, and I gotta be leaving here pretty soon. And he says, well, what was the meeting about? And I was like, well, we were gonna kind of go over some stuff and then talk some T&E and all that. And he says, well, and in a real condescending, like, hipster, he was dressed like a hipster, wannabe cool hipster tactical guy, and in a really condescending way, which really pissed me off. He says, well, how big of a channel are you, and how many views are you getting per, and all that? And I said, and I basically went off on it. It set me off. And I'm going to probably talk a little bit PG-13, maybe even a little bit of R-rated here. So if there are any kids out there, I apologize. But I'm not a choir boy. I do cuss quite a bit, but I will go ahead and I'll just say it. I'll say I kind of basically told him, I said that he needs to check his shit. I said, for a company that is promising weapons to be delivered in March, and you're now saying it's going to be July, and you've had recalls in the past, and you're having recent, you had a recent small showing of weapons that were released, and there are already videos out there of them failing and having malfunctions. I said, I don't think that you need to worry about anyone's channel size and how many views they're getting. I would like to think that you're trying to get any positive publicity that you possibly could. I said, I'm not here to try to get a free gun from you. I will send that shit back to you after 2 weeks if that's what you want. I truly just want to do a testing on it and maybe hopefully get you some positive publications out. But with the attitude you're having, you need to, I hear the words I use were, you better check your shit before you start. And I should have said you should check yourself before you wreck yourself, but I didn't. I said you need to check your shit, and basically told them that if they keep treating possible allies like this, they're going to find their company without very many of them in the near future. And as I walked away, I looked over to the other young guy, and he was kind of standing there like a deer in headlights, like, holy shit, did that just happen? And I said, make sure you tell so-and-so that I stopped by. So I don't know. I said, I'm done with you guys, and have a good one. Good luck to you. So I don't know if I'm going to hear back from them or not. I don't particularly care if I do, but if I do, then we'll have to hear what they say. But it pissed me off just because you're talking about a company that needs any good publicity they can get right now. Not saying that I was going to give them great publicity, but at least give me the opportunity to test your gun out. And if your gun's having issues and your company's having issues getting them here on time, the 3 months late, you probably don't have any right or any room to be an asshole. So good luck to you. And I'm not going to say their name, but they can kiss my ass for all I care. I'm done. And Clover very quickly mentioned to me that it might be one of the better things that happened to me. So
yeah, it could be. And it seems to me too, something that I thought about with all of that. I thought, it's not uncommon that they would ask that, but being that you've already talked to them, and you had that conversation going, and then all of a sudden it was a turn. It makes me wonder if after all the bad publicity the last few weeks or months or whatever that they've had, that they're trying to vet who they align with and basically vet with the sellouts that they can pay for a good review. You know what I mean?
Yeah, let them. Whatever. Like I said, it didn't piss me off as to why it happened. I don't care. It was the condescending. You're talking about a guy who is a salesman in a company that's struggling, and the condescending attitude of, you should be happy that anybody wants to shoot your shit right now. So it was interesting. But I thought that was really, really interesting. And I walked away because honestly, I'm not going to lie, that was a gun that I was looking forward to get my hands on. And now I really don't give a shit. So it is what it is. What's up, Gary?
Which gun was that? Which gun was that?
Huh?
Tried.
You may not be a choir boy, but I'm starting to question if you're a Marine or a sailor.
Was I cussing like a sailor?
Oh wow.
I would love for the camera to have been rolling. You're gonna have to start cutting your camera on.
That's another lesson I learned. From now on, every time I walk up to a booth, that camera's gonna be rolling before I walk up, because I would have loved to have had that shit on camera.
One of these days, and I may do it in a private patron chat or something. I've got B-roll. I've got B-roll with Pinkus, and it's hilarious, dude. Cause we've already talked about it. He's a very fun guy. And I mean, yeah. I didn't put that into the video for lengthwise and and that sort of stuff. I wanted to be semi-serious with it, but it's just I'm not going to get rid of that B-roll because it's just it's awesome.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I've got some B-roll of one of the presidents of one of the company that went and gave me a look at Troy Industries, and some guy jumping in the middle and just some stuff he was saying to the guy, and that's probably going to be a patron only thing, just to kind of let some people see it.
Yeah,
It is hilarious.
I'm going to go real quick and do another public service announcement real quick, so hang on tight. This one's going to be for the GunChannels Blitz. So here we go.
Hey Ghost Squad, this is Sky. At Ghost Tactical, we are always trying to help support and encourage new 2A content creators. By turning on your camera, you too can be a vital cog in the Second Amendment community. We encourage everyone to become a part of the solution. While saying that, we like to spotlight a channel that we feel is an important voice and needs help getting seen. Tonight, we spotlight Groupin RX. Groupin brings a great personality and great info about Second Amendment topics. Please go check his channel out. If you like what you see, subscribe to him and click the notification bell. Also, leave a comment on one of his videos with the hashtag GunChannelsBlitz. Back to you, Ghost.
Is it weird that my daughter calls me Ghost? No, I'm just kidding.
A little. No, I'm just kidding.
A little bit. It's a little creepy, man. A little creepy.
Well, I didn't want her to call me Dad, and she didn't feel like calling me Trey was interesting.
That's creepy too. There's a local car dealership here, and it's
really
the guy's daughter. The guy's daughter always does the commercials, and she's like, "Come by and see my daddy," and it's like, that's creepy too.
It is, and so she didn't feel comfortable calling me Dad. She didn't feel comfortable calling me Trey, because that was kind of creepy. But yeah, having her call me Ghost was kind of interesting. But I'm glad. Thank you to my daughter. She's got a good voice. So anyway, she's got a sweet little voice. That's my baby girl. Back to you, Dad.
Daughters are awesome.
Daughters are awesome. Let's see. What's up, Scotsman? What's up, brother? Yeah. So if you're out there, go check out Rupan. Rupan's doing some good stuff on Instagram and on YouTube. Did I not?
He's been running hard with the Every Second Matters stuff.
He does. A lot of Every Second Matters, and he's doing the early watch. I believe he's doing the early watch for Massachusetts, is he not now? I want to say he's kind of heading up that side of things for Massachusetts. So, but I'm going to go ahead and put his link out there, and he's doing a great job. So keep it up, Rupan. There is his link right there. So go check him out. Moving on to topics real quick, I want to discuss a couple things about the NRA. Apparently, Oliver North is going to be the new NRA president, taking over for the Brownell. Knowing that Brownell was only there for a year, without speculating, but it is speculating because I'm interested as to why only a year. Was it something I have heard, and I don't know there's validity to this, but I had heard that maybe Brownell sales weren't as good as they could have been the last year, and a lot of people are attributing to that because his affiliation with the NRA, which I think is interesting because I never thought that he did anything wrong as president. It was more Wayne LaPierre and Cox and all those assholes. But knowing that Oliver North, and a lot of people have been asking who Oliver North was. And if you guys don't remember, Oliver North was a lieutenant colonel in the Marine Corps who was involved with the State Department with the Iran-Contra scandal back in the late 80s. We had some, America had some prisoners that were being held in Lebanon, and people through back channels and illegally made a deal to sell some American weapons and guns to Iran in exchange for our prisoners to be released. Unfortunately, that went against about 17 different treaties, and he was charged, and I believe, somebody correct me, I believe he was convicted, but then was pardoned, I believe, either by Bush or by Clinton. I want to say it was by old man Bush before he got out. But he is now going to be the new incoming president of the NRA. That being said, he's a Marine, so I'm going to give him every benefit of the doubt. But I don't know. I actually did some research today, and I sure don't know where his stance is on the Second Amendment. Obviously, he's got to be pro-gun, or he wouldn't be put in this position. But I don't know how hard of a stance he's going to take on things. If he's just going to be a figurehead with a popular name that's leading the NRA, because we all know that LaPierre and Cox are kind of seem to be the ones that are going to be running the show. But what do you guys feel about Oliver North? And do you think it's a good move? Do you think it's going to change anything? Do you think that the new generation of people are just being elected to the board will actually be able to change anything, or is it going to be the same old, same old? I will start with Gunpowder this time. And Gunpowder might be with the kiddos. Tardot, what do you think about Oliver North? Tardot might be gone too. Well, hell, is everybody?
No, I'm here. I'm here. You kind of cut out for a second on my end, so.
Oh, okay. All right. What do you think about? Do you think it's going to do any good, or what do you think is going to happen?
Going by his past, it concerns me. I'm not going to say I think he's going to do good, but it's one of those situations where I feel like I don't want to jump in and just say it's all going to hell in a handbasket. So I kind of just want to see what he's going to do, what kind of statements he comes out with in the position. As far as Brownell, when he got into that position, it seemed like a very positive move for the NRA to have him in that position.
Good idea, sure.
And I think, looking at it, and I'd heard some things too, and I think really just from everything, I think he just kind of stepped out of it just for the fact, I think part of it is he just figured out that he's really not affecting anything, because you've got Cox and the other dip that works with him, Wayne LaPierre, just running their mouths. And, they're, for the most part, uncontrollable. They run the show, it pretty much comes down to.
Yeah, Trauma Jock out there, and I agree with TJ. Let's see here. Trauma Jock, I want to find it real quick. He says he appeals to the old fuds. He's a symbol of the Reagan era. And there's a lot to be said, because there's a lot of people, like I said, who have been asking me who Oliver North is, and most of them are 30-year-old and younger. If you're my age or older, if you're in your 40s or older, you remember Oliver North, and not all of those memories are positive. Like I said, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, because he's a Marine, and that's cool. But he's got a shady past that, there are a lot of people out here in the chat are talking about he's probably going to be another yes man. Holy hell, Homeboy Tacticals out there. What is up, my man? He says, dang, I finally get a Tuesday off, and I miss out on getting on the show with you guys. Hey, bro, anytime you want on, you let me know, and I'll get you a link. And we've missed you a couple times, but just shoot me an email anytime you want on. I'd love to have you. Guys, go check out Homeboy Tactical and Sporting. It's an awesome channel. He does a really, really good job. Really good information, a lot of concealed carry stuff and all that. Go check him out. He's the shit, so go check him out. Thanks for watching, brother. Let's see here. Yeah, pretty much everyone's saying that it's probably going to be a yes man. Tack, what do you think, bro?
I just got back. What were we talking about? You tell me quickly.
Oliver North. The whole Pete Brownell, not looking for another one, which I thought Pete Brownell was going to do a good job. But can anybody do a good job as quote-unquote president of the NRA? And how do you feel about Oliver North? I'm
going to withhold judgment on North, but we know his past, and if his past indicates anything, it's not a good choice. However, if I'm not giving him the benefit of the doubt. I'm doubtful. So I don't think they make good choices. I don't think any of the past several. I mean, again, you got a big lot of shoes to fill with Heston and all that stuff back in the day. But there are better representations of what they're trying to present to the world than what they choose.
Well, let me ask you this real quick. Aside from the quote from my cold dead hands, that alone made Charlton Heston a good leader, because it brought a lot of people to the NRA. But did Charlton Heston actually do much as far as the Second Amendment goes, or was it just happened to be a prospering time for the NRA because of that little speech? He
introduced. Wasn't he there when concealed? Wasn't he there when concealed carry went from just in Connecticut to the rest of the world?
I don't know. I don't. He might have been. I don't remember what his tenure was. He very well could have been. But once again, how much power does the president actually have? We all know that.
I don't know, but why would you pick someone with such a controversial past? It's a stupid decision.
I agree 100%. And that's my thing is I don't think it really matters who the president is, because we all know that Cox and LaPierre are the ones that are running the damn show. And whoever it is going to be a figurehead. That's fine. It is what it is. Clover, what do you think about Ollie?
All right. I pretty much agree, first off, with what's been said, that, you know, the past worries me. His past dealings worry me, that, you know, that whole thing. But, you know, let's see what happens, right? Let's give somebody the benefit of the doubt. That said, I'm going to go a different direction with that.
All right.
He's been, for the longest now, a political analyst, right? He's been inside the Beltway, hanging with the politicians.
That's another thing that worries me.
High rolling with the suits, you know, that sort of. That's what worries me more than his past, is that he's morphed into a pseudo quasi politician, and we've already got that in Cox and LaPierre. We don't need that in the president too. Good Lord.
That's for damn sure. Yeah. Yeah, that's my worry too, is ever since he was pardoned, I want to say it was 91. I think it was old man Bush. And it might have been right before Bush got out. I think he was pardoned. Anyways, he has been a political analyst. He was thrown into the spotlight because of some crazy stuff that happened in the 80s, and he's kind of lived on the Beltway since then. I worry about the political ties. Was he put in there for a reason? And I think if there is a reason, it's political. It has nothing to do with him being a veteran. It has nothing to do with anything else except for political. And that scares me, because everyone here probably knows how I feel. I wish that the ILA and the NRA would split. I think that we've all discussed this, and I think we would all, to a certain extent, would agree that we all wish that the NRA would just get back to training and education and promoting the Second Amendment as far as the gun community, and bringing more people, more women, more kids, all this stuff. And the ILA can go do their own thing. They don't need to eat up 95% of whatever budget the NRA has to go fight the political wars, or to at least make it look like they're fighting the political wars, when we know behind the scenes they're actually writing half this shit that's being passed for gun control. So I'm going to hold my reservation to see maybe he does. I would like to think that, you know, I've got, and I call her a friend. I mean, it's not like we go dinner and send birthday cards and all that to each other, but I've come to know a lady that I consider a friend, that is now a newly elected board member. And she actually has some really good ideas about possibly, if you are an NRA member and you want to renew your membership, or you want to buy a membership and you do this online, maybe if you have the option of clicking, I want my money to go be earmarked for education, or I want my money to be earmarked for training, or I want mine to be for women in firearms, and all that stuff, and not just kind of go into general fund, then I think that I would go back, and I would probably have a lot of people would go back to sit there and say, as long as my money's not going to LaPierre and the ILA side of things, then I'm okay. But as of right now, that's not happening. It's a general fund, a general ledger, and the ILA soaks in the vast majority of this. So I want to pose a question out there in the chat, and I want to pose a question to my panel. Anyone out there, is this: if the NRA was to come back and say, from now on, guys, when you sign up for the NRA or you renew your membership, and you can tell us where you want your money to go, and they can actually prove that it goes there, would you go back to the NRA, or are you done with the NRA until LaPierre and Cox are gone? Clover, I'm going to start with you. And if you don't want to answer, that's fine. I know that you're in a special situation, but if you were given the opportunity to where your money does go, would you think that's a positive move, or do you think that it's going to go to ILA no matter what? Okay. Maybe I'll go with TAC instead. I think I've put everybody to sleep on my panel, and no one's giving a damn what I'm saying. So
I'm here. I give a damn. I'm just playing with guns.
No, you don't give a damn. You just got nothing else to do tonight.
That's a good point.
Sorry. I was making the kids' bed.
Oh, no, you're fine. I was calling Clover out on that one. But no, TAC,
I'm not a member of the NRA, so I can't speak on it.
I'm not a member of the NRA either. What I'm saying is if they were to say, Kevin, you can come. We'd love to have you come back to the NRA, and if you do, we're going to let you tell us where you want your money earmarked to go instead of funneling everything to the ILA. Would that even change? Would that begin to change your mind, or are you so far done with the NRA that it's going to take a hell of a lot more than that?
It's more that I realize that's not a way to run a company. It's a great idea, but it's really not, because anyone that's run a company, if you let your shareholders or board or, God forbid, customers tell you where to spend your money, wouldn't you want the people that are in charge of those committees and budgeting and all that stuff to be the people that are doing that?
I mean, okay, let me start by saying there's 75 members of the board of the NRA. We all know that people don't have a lot of power. I mean, they can't. There's no way. And there's probably a handful of them, the good old boys club, that are going to have actually any power. But I mean, do you think that they actually talk about budgetary stuff and these things, or is it just an open checkbook? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know either. I can't speak on it, but I would imagine that if they're running it as a business, which is what they do,
you would hope
the decisions about where money is spent is being made, again, within the business decision makers, not with input from the outside. Can you imagine if Coca-Cola did that? Hey, everybody, tell us where we should spend our money. What?
Well, and the only reason why I say that this is something that, I mean, I'm not saying they're discussing this. I'm saying that a newly elected board member was going to discuss this and see if this is something, because she's been flooded with a lot of people saying, I'm not a member. And she even actually asked me to send her an email explaining on paper why I left the NRA, and so that she could take that and say, hey, I've got a lot of people that are saying these things. Maybe we should look at this stuff. I know they probably don't give a damn what any of their people out here say. They're arrogant enough to think that they've positioned themselves to be the beacon of the Second Amendment while screwing the Second Amendment at the same time. And I think that there's a lot of people, and myself included, that it's going to be nothing less than Cox and LaPierre going bye-bye before I even consider going back to the NRA. So gunpowder or tar dot, what do you guys think? What's it going to take? If you're not a member of the NRA, what would it take for you to become one? And if you are a member of the NRA, what do you think of what could help get more members of the NRA?
Well,
we actually are no longer members. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was say the same thing. We recently, ours actually unknowingly expired, because I was supposedly a life member and that I was paid well ahead of what it was supposed to be. But it recently expired without warning. And I really, after looking at it, I had no plan on going back to it, life or not. And, I sent you the email too, like you were talking about. And honestly, if that were to go into effect, I agree with TAC on the sense, do you really want your customers telling you how to run your business? But there's also the aspect of something you mentioned, and that's even with them going in and saying, okay, we are going to, earmark your money to go to this side of the organization.
Right. And
there's honestly, there's no way for them to really prove to me that money's going there. I'll be blunt about it, because, I could pay it and they could send me an invoice saying, hey, it went to, education. And
sure.
How do we know that actually happened? Because as we see, the majority of the money that goes to them just gets pulled over to the ILA from most likely all the other sides of the NRA.
Right. Speaking of which, before we get out of here, I wanted to do the last one since they had little technical issues. And this is going to be one of those that it's just ironic. This is the third one. So here we go. I'm going to do this one. Then we're going to start closing up shop here in just a few minutes. We got a couple more things to talk about briefly, but here we go with this real quick.
Hey Ghost Squad, this is Sky. At Ghost Tactical, we understand the rising tensions across America regarding guns and gun control. It is more important than ever to be vigilant about our Second Amendment rights. We encourage everyone to stay informed and contact your local, state, and federally elected officials to make sure they are hearing your voice. They represent you, and without your input, their votes may be vulnerable to outside influences. We ask that you actively support any gun rights organizations such as Gun Owners of America, Second Amendment Foundation, Firearm Policy Coalition, and even the National Rifle Association. We understand you may not agree with all the politics involved with some of the organizations, but we encourage you to keep up with and support as many as you can.
And I'm going to go and say the first place we all need to start is our own backyard. If there are any local or state organizations that fight the good fight, then start there, because that's actually, we talk about the Gun Owners of America and the Second Amendment Foundation and the Firearm Policy Coalition, which I love all three of those and members of and support those. And those are great, but it really what's going to happen, and we've seen over the last several months, we've seen that the major damage in the fight against the Second Amendment is coming at the state level. I think that at the federal level, I think even the liberals and I don't say the liberals, because there are a lot of liberals and Democrats that aren't anti-gun necessarily. So I want to say the anti-gunners, because there are actually some conservatives that seem to be anti-gun too. So I will do, Einstein, sure will. But anyways, I think the anti-gunners know at the federal level it's going to be damn near impossible to get anything that's going to be of any substance passed right now. They had to sneak in the fixed NICS into the omnibus they had to sign the omnibus. We're talking budget stuff here. So they threw in fixed NICS 17 hours before the omnibus went to the floor to vote on, knowing that there was not enough time to change anything because it had to be signed. So we've got the fixed NICS, but they had to sneak that in there. But what's going to happen is at the state level. We've already seen Florida. We've already seen a bunch of states that are trying to do some crazy-ass shit in gun control. That's where it's going to happen. It's the state level. So if your state offers some sort of an organization, that's where, hey, what's up, Sarge? That's where you really want to start the fight, is locally and at the state level. And not saying forget about the federal level, because that's important, but there's probably more work that needs to be done, especially right now with the midterm elections, with senators, governors. I mean, the Arkansas governor is a Republican. He is in a fight storm just in his own primary because Jan Morgan, who is a very pro-gun Fox analyst who owns an indoor range here in Arkansas, is running against him in the primary. He's the incumbent governor. And he's in a fight for his life. So Jan Morgan's out there running for governor. She's running for the Second Amendment. She has made it very clear that her number one priority is to protect the Second Amendment and the gun rights of the Arkansas citizens. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But the state levels would be where it's at. What I want to talk about real quick, guys, before we get out of here is the drill of the month. The drill of the month is out there for this month, and I'm going to put the link out here. Whoops. Let me go get that link for the drill of the month. This month, it's the spelling bee, and let me get this real quick. Copy that and paste. Last month, the winner was Dale Calaveras 32 Special. Congratulations, Cal. He was kind of surprised because he felt like he shot very poorly. And understand that the drill of the month is not about being a perfect shot. It's about getting better, becoming more proficient with your firearm. There is no such thing as a perfect expert shooter that's not trained out the ass. If you're just a normal everyday person, you're going to have bad days. I'm not a great shot. I'm a better than average shot, but I no means a great shot. but Calaveras is trying to get better, and that's the whole point of the drill a month is to get out there and shoot, get someone out there that maybe hasn't shot at all or very few times, get them out there, get them to be more proficient. So that's what the drill a month is all about. So go check out the drill a month, and congratulations to Cal. We're going to start closing down. I know that Hit or Miss is out there. They just went live a couple of minutes ago. So go check out Night Strike 1 on the YouTube side and Hit or Miss on the Gun Channel side. I'm going to run it through the room real quick and let you plug what you guys got to plug. Let's start with Gunpowder Beauty. Go ahead, kiddo. She might be with the kids again. Tardot, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Plug
so
for both
just yeah, I'll plug for both of us. So definitely check me out on Tardot357 on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, all of the social media outlets. And also check out Gunpowder Beauty on all those same social media outlets. And make sure to check us out on www.tardotproductions.com. We're going to have a lot of the content coming out probably the end of this week from NRA show. No, I got to get through work and get to my day off, and it's going to be a whole lot of editing. That's all I know. And as far as with the NRA, all these organizations, you hit on it talking about state level organizations. I do want to throw one thing out there, and it was talked about in another chat. Is the comments always made? That everybody pays the NRA or GOA or any of these people. We pay them to fight for us. We don't pay them to fight for us. We pay them to fight with us, because if you're not taking your voice and putting it out there, it's not going to work. We've got to have the more voices. The more voices we have, the better it is, and we've got to have all those voices talking about the same subjects at the same time.
Exactly. Good job. Good job. Tack, what's going on with you? What you got going with Funker?
I just realized one thing about that whole thing. Trump was there, and it wasn't even a big deal. Just for the record.
Yeah, he was there Friday.
It wasn't a big deal at all. There was more about his son being on the floor than there was about what he had to say.
Right.
And
I thought that was very interesting.
Check out funkertactical.com. I'll be dropping a highlight video there with a little write-up on what was from the past weekend. And, yeah, check that out. Thanks. Appreciate it, dude.
Hey, thanks for coming, bro. Appreciate you very much. I think I'd speak for everybody in this room. Tack, I want how we feel about you. I'm very blessed to call you a friend. I look at you as a mentor to a lot of things, and thank you for everything that you've done for me in this channel. I think everyone in this room will thank you for everything you've done for them and the community. But I know you're going to sit there and say, "Well, shut up, that's bullshit" and all that. But no, for them. You've done a lot.
No, I'm awesome. This is great. Keep going. This is great.
Fuck you, yeah. But no, I do want to say thank you. So
well, then I'll jump in and say that's all bullshit. But thank you, Tack.
Yeah. Right.
No, you guys are great. You guys are great, and you're hustling. And again, any way I can support anybody that's hustling, that's kind of givers gain has been a mentality since I've been in business in the entrepreneur world, and this is definitely that for all of us. And it's a philosophy I push out there. Givers gain, and you don't give looking to gain back. You give knowing that the universe will reward you in some way, shape, or form. If you're doing it on the consistent without looking for it, and you also get to weed out all the assholes along the way.
That's true.
It's a good thing.
Well, shit, I feel like I'm being weeded out. What does that say about me?
Well, I was about to say, how in the hell did I make it on this panel?
Phone calls.
That's what I'm thinking.
What's that mean? Does that mean that I'm being weeded out?
No, you serious? Shut up.
Shut up. Shut up.
You know
all right, I know
Where
what
was
you're saying.
G-Webs? That's what I want to know. Where was G-Webs? See, he does not exist. He's a computer simulation that's fooled you all. I've
met the man several times. So
again,
I can
show me proof. Anyone can show me proof other than their word. I need tangible
I actually
physical
can
proof.
show you proof, but it needs to be like very, very down low. There have been a couple sightings out there that people don't realize.
I know. I have more proof of underscore than I do of him. So there you go.
All right. Clover, go ahead and plug away, my buddy.
I don't know. I just want to talk about, I guess, for a minute what you hit on early on, which was, I hate to use the term, the new guys or the new creators that were there because they've all been around for a while now. But yeah, they really hit the floor. They hit the ground running. They hustled. They did the same in Tulsa. I look forward to seeing what they do with SHOT Show. It's awesome, and it keeps me focused in a way too, because when you're around people that have that hustle, when you're around people that are supportive, you really can get a lot more done yourself too. So there's something to be said about surrounding yourself by good people, and the people we were with at NRA were no doubt good people. So.
Great people, absolutely. You got coming up tomorrow. You got Next Generation coming up tomorrow. Is that the next show? Is that right?
Yeah, we'll do Next Gen tomorrow, and then Thursdays, After Hours, Fridays, Farm Friday, and then one thing we missed Ghost and Clover, dude. So
I know. We'll do that this weekend sometime.
We'll have to catch that Sunday for sure. Yeah,
catch it Sunday. So yeah, Ghost must be drinking. No,
there may be a new Thursday night show coming soon, but you didn't hear it here first.
I mean, there could be something coming down the line Thursday night, but that. It hasn't. There might be something coming down the line. So, anyways, guys, I want to say,
watch it. You're getting dangerously close to Braden territory. Just saying.
No, because I'm not saying to say there's great stuff coming out. I'm going to be going to Egypt and be doing all that, and I'm sticking a fish at the end of my muzzle to see
my brother.
I did not see any of my brothers.
My brothers. Where was he, by the way? He wasn't NRA, was he? Oh, wait, he doesn't go to any of that shit. Yeah, my bad. I should have known.
Now he's Mr. 18 channels into one. Forget guns. Yeah. I got to do other stuff.
Even Jelsma showed up to NRA.
Holy shit, Jelsma's here. Where the hell have you been?
I've been just sitting in the back waiting to say a little bit about NRA, but that's something we can talk about on Fishburne Firearms this Friday at 8 Central.
That's impressive. I like that pitch.
That's Friday at 8 Central. I don't want to say this real quick because he's here. Shane busted his tail as well. Did a great job. I think he had like an 8.5 hour live chat, maybe Saturday or something. He went live basically the whole day. But no, I want to say to Shane and to Troy and to Jesse that you guys did awesome. And
thank you, but oh my God, you used my real name. What the hell?
Well, I
just messing with you.
Real names. I like to real person. I've never tried to hide my real name, so anyone that knows that my name's out there.
Get packed up quick. The black vans are on their way. Just saying.
Oh shit! Yeah. But no, I want to say thanks everybody for watching. I want to say thanks everybody who's watching the content out there. I hope you like it. Go check out the Drill of the Month. I just started out with my first video in a new series that's coming out last week. It's the range lessons with ghosts, and we're going to discuss different things that happen while shooting and practicing at ranges or wherever. There are typical mistakes that people have that may not be able to figure out why they're shooting a certain way or what's going on. So the first one, dropped last week, so go check it out. But we're going to be doing that a couple times a month with different things. If you're having issues with shooting, you're missing a certain place, or you're having problems with your gun or whatever, and you have questions that you have, go ahead and send us an email at live@ghosttactical.us. I will do my best to answer those questions and email, and probably even try to make a video to show everybody else, because you're probably not the only one having that issue. So it's okay to ask for questions, because I ask for help all the time. I got a buddy of mine who was a sniper, and I'll ask him all the time because he's a much better shot than I am. But thank you so much for everybody watching. Go check out Hit or Miss Tuesday nights, 9 o'clock. It's probably going hot right now. Thank you to everybody who's out there. You guys are tagging me. I'm just seeing a bunch of orange Ghost Tacticals out there. Rupan, you're welcome for the GunChannels Blitz. Keep up the good work, young man. Einstein says thank you to the panel. Good show. And Rupan's being my hype man. It's nice to have my hype man back. And Mohawk Boy says my real name is Cafeteria Trey. It was Ice Trey back in high school, but that was during a different era. So I'll take Cafeteria Trey at this point, as long as I'm not something else, I'll be fine. So, guys, go check out all these guys on my panel's channels. They put out great content. Watch all their stuff. Funker Tactical, Tar.357, Gunpowder Beauty, and Gun Gals, and Clover Tack. Go check them out. Gelsman Outdoors. Since Gelsman did join us at the end, thanks for joining us, buddy. We'll catch you on Triple F on Friday, but go check out all these guys and make sure you support their videos. They're going to come up from NRA because they really busted their asses and got some really good stuff. So watch all that stuff, and we will see you probably Sunday for the Ghost and Clover show. So go watch everything else this week and stay strong, stay vigilant, keep fighting for your Second Amendment rights.